This is the 9th Satoshi Roundtable, basically the who's who in the industry.
It's some of the most passionate individuals out there within this space.
I come to Satoshi Roundtable with a different attitude than if I go to many other conferences.
I think some of the beauty of this group is that they're different-minded. By bringing them together, they learn from each other.
In blockchain news, the Satoshi Roundtable is an exclusive, invite-only gathering of leaders in the cryptocurrency and blockchain industry. The event is designed to be an unconference where attendees can have open and honest discussions about the state of the industry, share ideas, and collaborate on projects. The meeting is held annually, usually at a luxury resort in North America, and features a mix of presentations, panel discussions, and networking opportunities. The next Satoshi Roundtable will be held in Dubai from February 2nd through 7th. The gathering is named after Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonym used by the unknown person or group that created Bitcoin.
Hey there, I'm at the hotel that we're going to be doing the Satoshi Roundtable. I just want to show you. Here's the outside. We're going to have all this totally, secure. Every single room, every single conference room, and everything in this whole hotel for 5 days. So Satoshi Roundtable, I originally designed as the event that I would want to attend. I'm a bit of an introvert, and I love these big events. They're fun, but they, sometimes it's hard to have the kind of conversations that I like. It's more like, what do you do? Kind of yelling around a crowd sort of thing. And I prefer the kind of deeper conversations, a little bit quieter kind of event. And so that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to design something the kind of event that I would really like to attend. And I've been fortunate that it turns out I wasn't the only one. It's been very, very popular. We've had some really great folks that have come again and again and again, and they appreciate that style event as well. So it's been a huge success. So this will be all Bitcoiners and crypto folks.
My name is Charlie Lee. I'm the creator of LiteCoin, and I'm currently the director of the LiteCoin Foundation. Yeah, we started the LiteCoin Foundation in 2016 to support LiteCoin and crypto in general. Basically push for adoption, sponsor developers to work on LiteCoin, and just more awareness about crypto and LiteCoin, and try to get more people to use it. This is the 9th Satoshi Roundtable. I think I was at the first and second one. Before, it was maybe a group of, I think at most 50 people. That was basically the who's who in the industry. And we met and just talked about everything related to Bitcoin, all the hot topics of the day. It was a nice format where it's very low key. There's no agenda. There's nothing that needs to be done. And people just discuss and talk about Bitcoin. And now this event is like 500 people or something. It's pretty crazy, but it's still like all the major players in the space. And I think it's a great event where people can just be themselves and just talk about their passion. Yeah, I remember one of the roundtables I went to, the hot topic at that time was Bitcoin scaling. Talking about what's the best way for Bitcoin to scale. Is it to increase the block size? Is it not to increase the block size, but to add second layer, like something like Lightning Network on it? And Satoshi Roundtable was one of the main events that actually brought all the key players together to really hash out their differences and talk about what's the best way to move forward. And I thought that year really helped move this discussion forward.
Chris Ergen, Head of Office of Innovation, Dish Network. Dish Network is a satellite communications company started by my parents in 1980, and we are currently in the process of transforming the company into a wireless communications company, more broadly speaking, 5G and Open RAN within the United States. Satoshi Roundtable to me is a gathering of some of the highest level individuals within the crypto and blockchain space that I've been to. I hear there's about 400 people here this year, so it's a little bit less intimate maybe than it has been in years past. But I don't get that sense, actually. You walk around, I'm seeing old people, old friends that I've known from before, new people that I'm just meeting, but it's some of the most passionate individuals out there within this space. I've been to Satoshi before in Mexico, and so it's interesting to see this now in Dubai, where you have a government that's saying they want to increase their blockchain companies here by 500%. So you have a lot of support in the region for this type of technology. And so, I think that the vibe has been very positive. I think people are excited to see each other. I think during the pandemic, a lot of people, hadn't seen each other. So I'm sure that there's some folks here that I haven't seen in 3 or 4 years.
Hi, I'm James Bowater. I am the founder and editor-at-large of Crypto AM in London. Crypto AM is a catch-all to cover AI, blockchain, tokenization, digital assets, and all of the stuff that we are into, including crypto. But it's a catch-all because it's a partnership with London's leading financial newspaper, City AM, and we did this 5 years ago. It was funny, the Satoshi Roundtable first was mentioned by a very, very good friend of mine called Daniel Steinberg, who was behind the Atari token. And he said, you should come. And it was sort of a bit, it sounded all a bit sort of mythical and kind of, cool and sort of underground and all sort of stuff. And I was intrigued and I was supposed to go, but I couldn't. There was a clash for some reason. But then I went to Satoshi Roundtable 8 last year. It was really exciting to meet, the pioneers in the industry. I must admit, I felt a little bit unqualified to be in that company. Satoshi Roundtable is an unconference, so there is no set plan to the whole thing, and I couldn't really get my head around it. But then actually, it did entirely make sense. So basically, grown-ups in the room making their own agenda and discussing what's relevant and important to talk about, rather than being told what to talk about. And I think that actually has a lot of value. We are now next to a huge, thriving metropolis, and a very current and in vogue one, that of the United Arab Emirates, Dubai specifically. I think they've changed the rules, as it were, because you've got locals coming to visit and all that kind of stuff. But I think a lot of people are actually staying on the compound because they've done a full takeover, which is a really, really cool thing. So absolutely everyone is a delegate.
So every room, every conference room, all this will all be part of the event. You won't be able to come on this premises at all unless you have a ticket. That's the nice thing about doing the full buyout. This area I can predict is going to be a popular area. It looks comfortable. I think I'll probably hang out here. And there's some cool rooms. There's some cool Magulus rooms, meeting rooms. I think we have an outdoor dinners and things like that. So anyway, this just gets you a feel for what the resort looks like.
I'm Bill Barhydt, founder and CEO of Abra. Abra is a crypto banking service. We service both retail consumers and institutions. On the retail side, we have a global trading platform that allows you to buy, sell, hold myriad cryptocurrencies. We have our Boost product, which allows you to basically have crypto-based savings where you can earn income on your dollar stablecoins, on your Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can stake tokens, which in English staking means that you basically earn more tokens via the network itself by acting as a transaction validator. Satoshi Roundtable. So I'm not sure, but I think this is the 5th or 6th year for me. But Satoshi Roundtable is started out as basically a bunch of people that wanted to be together, right? We didn't have a conference agenda. We knew we were passionate about the beginning Bitcoin because there was nothing else, and then eventually crypto and smart contracts and DeFi and all the other things that came along. But at the beginning, we were passionate about Bitcoin. We wanted to have intimate conversations amongst ourselves. How can we grow this ecosystem? How can we create an ecosystem? Sorry, never mind grow an ecosystem. How can we create an ecosystem? What's it going to take to spur adoption? What are the problems? Are there issues with the Bitcoin software that we have to think about? And people would just have kind of this self-organizing set of meetings and discussions. You'd basically put paper on a billboard, push pin little pieces of paper to say, I'm going to do this session at 10 a.m. I'm going to do this session at 1 p.m. And they would self-organize. And it went from 50 people to, I'm thinking we're probably 400 to 500 people this go around. And we've taken over this entire huge resort that we're at, which is incredible. And the number of people that are interested and excited about this, and by the way, it's still the same format. it's still this unconference format where it's self-organizing. It's just 8x bigger than it was the first year that I went. I would say I've made more quality contacts through Satoshi Roundtable in the last 5 years than any other ongoing set of events I've ever attended. And I still do, not every year, to go to TED, World Economic Forum. This is my favorite.
Hi, my name is Jor Law, and I'm the CEO of Prime Trust. So Prime Trust is a technology company that uses its licenses and regulatory status to provide services and infrastructure to startups in the Web3 and fintech space. After hearing, the great opening speeches and remarks by Bruce Fenton and having been several of these, regardless of what it is, I think for me it's a safe space to come, to talk, to share, to learn, and where people more or less are seen as equals, and everyone has value, right? You go anywhere you want, and if you think you like it, you stay. If you think you don't like it, you walk away, right? But you get to go to a lot of different areas and just learn and just share. But coming here to learn and just be around this energy of people that are like-minded, that really care and love the space and are building in the space, it's just very different.
Hi, I'm Michael O'Connell, CEO of WatchDog Capital. All right, so WatchDog Capital is a SEC-registered FINRA member broker-dealer in the United States. So we can deal in traditional securities, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, in all 50 states and 3 territories across the United States. My own take on Satoshi Roundtable is going back in time and imagining a conference that was held in 1910. So it's 1910 and you have a conference where everybody who is building the 20th and the 21st century is there. So you'd have a conference with anybody who was a builder and a hacker or a financier. They'd be at that conference and they'd be figuring out how they're going to interact, how they're going to partner, and how they were going to build the world of the future. And that group of people is here at the Satoshi Roundtable every year, and they're the ones who are building the next 200 years of technology. So what I've seen happen in the last 2 roundtables is, and I've experienced this myself as well, is people meet each other. You go out and you do a pool track, right? Somebody will have a conference track in the pool. And you're sitting in the pool with people and just having a regular conversation about the topic of the track. And you get to know people on a nice, casual, personal level. Somebody might be doing something that has a component that would fit very well into your business and actually push both of your businesses forward. And I've never seen a group of people that's more willing to work together and push things forward, because everybody's trying to do the same thing, which is build the Bitcoin world. And anything that everybody can do together to push that forward is really that's the momentum that comes out of the conference. I had last year probably 3 different conversations with people that were 45 minutes or so, and those conversations were influenced everything that we did all year with WatchDog Capital and several of the long-term projects that we're working on as well.
I'm Tim Draper, founder of Draper Associates, Draper University, Meet the Drapers, Draper Going Home, a bunch of other Draper stuff. We are looking to invest in people, entrepreneurs who will make great things happen, and coins may actually be a part of that or not. We've always done that. We've always backed great people going with really interesting technologies into big markets. I like trust and freedom. Satoshi Roundtable is a unique conference in that way because it has real freedom in it. There's a lot of freedom of speech, there's a lot of freedom to assemble, and there's sort of a trust amongst the group. I think some of the beauty of this group is that they're different-minded, and by bringing them together, they all they learn from each other. they might all have the same North Star. They might all be kind of going, I want to get to a world that is open, borderless, transparent, peaceful, loving society, consistent, not driven by rulers who want to manipulate currency or create trade wars or wars. And here in Dubai, suddenly we got a bunch of strong leaders. It's really exciting. And having met with a lot of these great leaders of Dubai, I'm realizing that they trust their people, and boy, is that a much better way to run a country than trying to control everybody and everything around it.
Hi, I'm Patrick Tsang. I'm the chairman of Tsangs Group. Tsangs Group is a single-family office based out of Hong Kong. We have offices globally in London, Shenzhen, Dubai, and Singapore. We make direct investments into all kinds of technology globally, and we try to take the companies public. I believe that SRT, the first time they've done it, this is the 9th conference, I understand, and in the 9th conference, it's the first time they've done it in the UAE, in the Middle East region. I've spoken to Bruce, and I've also spoken to other guys, including myself. I believe that this is probably the best place for them to do the conference, and it's been wonderful weather. This place is great. They have the great hotel. The conference is excellent, and it's probably the largest gathering that they've had. One thing about the leadership here is they try everything, and whatever works that adds value to them, they will keep on doing and improving on. So if it works, which I believe this conference will do well, it's going to come back again. It's definitely less American, or there's more diversity from other parts of the world. And one of the key things is, one is the location of the venue. I think in the past conferences, a lot of the time it has been in Mexico, and it's been very difficult for people in Asia and the Middle East to travel to Mexico, because you end up having to change 2 or 3 flights. It's a 30, 40-hour grueling flight that a lot of people end up being very put off with this. Just this alone practically makes it difficult for people further away. Dubai has a tremendous advantage over any other location, being sort of like in the center of the world. It's got excellent support in terms of airport hub. Everyone can get here within 10, 12 hours. A lot of people haven't been here, and it's also created a big touristy kind of praise from some of the attendees here, because a lot of them it's the first time. I've been here for many years, and I have nothing else but praise for the place and how they do business and tourism. So I think it's going to be an excellent destination here for the community.
Sebastian, President, One River Digital. So One River is a 10-year-old hedge fund platform that created One River Digital 2 years ago. But we're an institutional asset manager that tries to basically help clients make it through the next cycle. We try to help people invest through change. And so that means a bunch of things that tend to do well when traditional risks do not. So a year like 2022 was pretty good for us. But that perspective of trying to help clients make it through that next cycle is what brought us to Bitcoin and digital assets in 2020. The Satoshi Roundtable was described to me as a conference for the speakers at a conference. And it was intended to bring together those that were really focused on the future of Bitcoin and digital assets. And it was also framed as something that I couldn't miss. And I asked more information about it, and they said they couldn't tell me. So I thought, if it's really something I can't miss and they can't tell me anything about it, then I was just too curious. I had to find out.
The fact that we are limited in size is something that, we've gotten, it's sometimes misunderstood. We certainly don't try and be exclusive. We do a lot. We do give some scholarships, and we try and be as open and inviting to as many people as we can. But we just want to keep it small. That's the whole point of it. And we have families come as well. I bring my own kids. We have 4 kids. They come, and last year we had a pretty good chunk of children. A lot of families came, and spouses, and you make it more of a relaxed kind of event. A lot of people in this business are very busy, so if they can bring their family to something, it's not totally a vacation, but it's more family time and more quality time than they would if they were off on their own, or your typical pure business focused event that doesn't have that aspect. It'll just be more like family. You're hanging out here and somebody's having a coffee over there. They're going to be an attendee, you're an attendee. Probably 30% of the attendees know each other. There's a lot of regulars, maybe 50%. Quite a few people know each other. And so it's a good way to, meet people and make friends and stuff. But I love this space. I'm happy with it. I knew it was going to be good.
My aha moment every single time is just how humbling, the space is, to just be here and just learn so much from other people, and they're so smart and they're doing so many things.
A little bit of reunion, a little bit of new exploration, a lot of learning, and hopefully some new friends and some new ideas.
I think for a lot of the people here, it's energizing, and so this conference, I think, does a really good job of helping people filter out that noise and focus on what matters.
It was fascinating to see the brightest minds in the industry come together to discuss the latest trends and technologies that are transforming the world of finance. The atmosphere was electric as everyone shared their ideas and visions for our future economy. As we conclude this episode of Culture Conversations, we're excited to see what lies ahead for the world of decentralized finance, crypto, and alternative tech. Keep exploring and stay curious as we embrace this exciting culture of decentralization. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, this is Culture Conversations on Defiance TV.